Hi everyone, today is Thursday. I'm Dr. Sonia. Was getting a little confused about the day because everything's pretty messed up right now. But today I wanted to share a little bit of science animal behavior with you. And we're going to talk about eye placement in the skull. So if you, come here, Ellie. So I have Ellie. Come here, Ellie. So Ellie and I have the same forward placement of our eyes, right? So we both can see behind us, in front of us, we cannot see directly behind us. But in order to see, we're going to turn our heads to see around us, okay? That eye placement is very indicative of the type of food consumption that we have. So predators are people who hunt, or animals who hunt. Okay, we're predators. Dogs are predators. Cats are predators. Do we have a cat somewhere? We have a cat somewhere. I might grab one before we get done. So our eyes face forward, and I'm going to show you a skull. This is a raccoon skull. Okay, and if you look, this is where the nose would go. Okay, and this was just found in the woods, so I'm pretty sure it's a raccoon skull. There's no nose because our noses are made of cartilage, so that's all gone. There's no bone on that. Now, if you see these eyes, the eyes sit right here. And so they are, if I had little eyes, they would be forward facing, okay? They would be forward facing in the skull. So that means this is a predator, okay? And the other way we would know that's a predator is because we have these big canines that tear food. We have big molars back here that rip. So that's just the way they're made. So that's because we need to have binocular vision. All of our predators need to be able to hunt, and that binocular vision allows us to have depth perception, so that an eagle coming down from the sky to scoop up a rabbit can see and judge distance. Now, prey animals are animals that get eaten by predators, okay? And a prey animal has eyes on the side of its head. So if I turn, this is a lamb. This was a little lamb that died shortly after birth, and my friend gave me this skull because she knows I like things like this. But there's only eyes on the sides of the head. So they would have eyes pretty much where our ears are, okay? And that's so they can see predators. So they need to see all the way around, to have a big field of vision on both sides, okay? So they can have a broader range of vision so they can look for predators coming. Because predators sneaking up on something aren't worried about something attacking them because they're predators. So our herbivores, or plant eaters, are primarily animals that are going to have eyes on the sides of their head. Of course, there are exceptions to every rule, but this, in general, if you see an animal with eyes on the sides of its head, it's going to be an herbivore, which means it's going to eat plants. And this is actually a ruminant, so a lamb, a sheep, a deer, a cow, a goat are all ruminants. And we'll go into that a little later, but it means they eat things and have this big fermentation vat, but they don't have top, front incisors, and I'll show you that. Okay, so there's no teeth. So if you look here, there's no teeth here either, but that's a place where the incisors were. There's nothing here because ruminants don't have top, front incisors. All right, come here, Landry, bring me. This is Trouble. This is Landry's horse, her 5-year-old. She's almost 5, she'll be 5 next month. Now, she, we know, is an herbivore. She eats plants. And her eyes are on the sides of her head. So if she looks like this, okay, they actually have a blind spot. So horses have a blind spot directly in front. So if I hold her just like this, she cannot see me. She has to turn her head to see me. And that's a lot of times why you have to be very careful with horses, because they swing their head a lot. And that's not because they're trying to knock you out, although they will if you're not careful. They're trying to see. They need to see in front of them, and they need to see behind them. And again, they're nervous because they're looking for something to come eat them. So they're always looking. They're always looking. They're always looking looking so she can see me because I'm on the side of her, and that's kind of why we stay to the side of a horse instead of directly in front of them, because they can't see us and they will run over us accidentally. If something spooks them, they're going to run over us. If something spooks her and I'm on the side of her, then she can go the opposite direction. All right, why don't you bring me a goat? Bring me Caroline. So we'll look at, hopefully Caroline, if Landry gets her to me in a minute. So Caroline is a goat. She is a little black, just a goat. She's nothing, no special breed or anything. And she's a ruminant. And so again, we'll go over those stomach compartments later, but a ruminant is a really cool animal because it can process things that we can't. So a goat, especially, we like to use those in third world countries for feeding programs because they can eat brush or sticks or, I mean, they need good forage, but they can eat bad forage and survive, things that we could never eat. But that rumen, that fermentation vat, they have their own little microbe system in their body that allows them to digest fiber that would be undigestible for us. So they can turn that into meat and milk that we can consume. So that's a fun thing. Okay, here comes Caroline. She has horns. Okay, and you know the difference between antlers and horns? Antlers shed, so deer have antlers. Horns are attached to the skull, solid, and they don't. Hop her up here. They don't. Come here, Caroline. Come here. Come up here. Come up here. Hop her butt up. Okay. All right, here she is. Let me pop this down just a hair so you can see her. Look at that. Okay, so again, we were going to talk about her eyes, right? And so her eyes are on the sides of her head. Okay, so she has a wide range of vision to look for predators. Now I'm going to see if she'll let me show you her teeth because she is a ruminant. And the way that I know she's a ruminant is because she has no top teeth. Let me hold her head. There you go. Yep. Okay, now look at that. There's her bottom teeth. Look at her top. No teeth. No teeth on her top, so she really can't bite me. She can bite me, but not a great. And the other thing that most ruminants have is a split hoof. So let me see if I can pick her up and show you that. So she actually has two toes or two pieces of hoof right here. So whereas if you're talking about a horse, they would have 4 hooves, and a ruminant would actually have 8 hooves. Okay, give me a baby pig. Well, look at here. Put her up. Put Caroline up. Thank you, Caroline. And her name is Caroline, so Landry can sing Sweet Caroline to her. She's a fun goat. So again, the words we were talking about, prey versus predator. So predator is an animal who hunts and eats other animals. Prey animal is one who is eaten, and they're usually herbivores, so they usually eat grass. And then we have herbivores, we have carnivores, which are meat eaters. They only eat meat. And cats, all of your cats are meat eaters. They're just made that way to eat meat. And I wish I had a cat. I usually have a cat. They all ran away. They didn't want to be on video. So they have forward-facing eyes. They have a long tail to help them balance and pace to sneak up on something to eat it. And then, so we have carnivores that eat meat, herbivores that eat plants, and then we have omnivores that eat everything. And we are omnivores as people, and pigs are omnivores. They eat everything. Okay, and they have kind of a hybrid. So they have eyes on the side of their head, but at the same time, if you hold them, okay, go back to your mommy. If you hold them directly forward, you can kind of see their eyes. So they're kind of a mix. Baby pigs get eaten in the wild very often. Big pigs will eat other things. They're omnivores. They will literally eat anything, carcasses, plants, whatever you give them, they'll eat. So we have to be, what, you got another one? Okay, she got me a non-squealy one. It's gonna start squealing. Got me a non-squealer. These pigs are, let me see if you can see. There you go. So you can see his face. So we have eyes on the side, but when you look here, you can see both eyes as well. Okay, so they kind of have a better range of vision. And another fun fact about pigs is, so we talked about the nose being gone, right? So there's no nose here because it's cartilage, and there's no nose here because there's cartilage and there's no bone for front teeth. Pigs actually have a rostral bone. They have a bone in their nose, and that's why they root. They will tear things up. They will dig giant holes because, look at his little baby teeth. They have a bone in there. Okay, go back to your mommy. They have a bone in there. So to go back over what we learned, predator, something that eats other animals. Prey, something that gets eaten, and those are usually herbivores, which are animals that eat plants. Carnivores, most predators are carnivores because they're hunting and eating meat. And then, oh, bring me a chicken, Landry. And then, it doesn't matter, just grab one. Predators are mostly carnivores, but they're also omnivores. So omni means all. So omnivores eat everything. They sit down with us like a big plate and they have some steak and potatoes and green beans and bacon and eat it all. Okay, so that's what an omnivore means. Now, chickens and ducks, fowl, they're not mammals. Okay, they're birds. Birds and mammals are different. Everything we've talked about so far is a mammal. But I have a baby chicken. Okay, and I have a baby duck. Look at that. I have a little fro duck. Okay, and these guys are definitely not predators because they don't have teeth, right? This one has they both have beaks. This one's more of a bill. This one's more of a beak, okay? And they actually, though, do eat meat. Okay, they're kind of omnivores. So chickens are not vegetarians. Ducks, not really vegetarians. They will eat water bugs. They will eat insects. They'll eat tadpoles. They'll eat all those things. Chickens will eat frogs. They will eat worms. They will eat crickets. They'll eat anything. Okay, beetles. Oh, they love beetles. It's beetle time of year, and they love beetles. Okay. Oh, look, I'm gonna set my littles down. I'm gonna show you this weird rooster we have. Okay. So, again, chickens can be cannibalistic too. They will eat other chickens. Not a great thing, but they do that because if they're in a big flock and one of them is injured, then they don't want to attract predators to their flock. So they'll actually kill their own injured animal, bird, and leave it. Okay, this is a young rooster. And we'll go over rooster parts, chicken parts another day. All right, so I hope y'all learned something today. I will see y'all tomorrow.